I think I'm going to try and do some lost foam castings to help attach the next few parts onto the Muller. I made this cardboard template of a piece of an old cereal box. Traced it out onto some pieces of foam. Now I probably could have ganged them up and tried to cut them out all at once. They shouldn't take long to do one at a time, and that's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to work better with my my little bandsaw. Well, I think I figured out a way to get them so that they're going to fit on here. These will be bolted onto the crossbar. Cut it. This will be cast solid. No cut here. I'll cut out a wider kerf in there that I can use to clamp down on this pipe. A couple of those ought to hold it pretty secure, hanging down from the crossbar. I'm counting on this to shrink enough that I can fit this through it, but it's pretty tight so that when I clamp down it'll hold it securely. If it doesn't work, oh well, throw them back in the pot next time. If they don't cast out right, same solution. Just so I've got these 4 sets of matching foamies ready. I sanded the bottom of them so that they'd be as close to parallel, the holes lining up as possible for each pair, just by putting them on this bar, pushing them up next to each other, and sanding the bottom. You should go check out Kelly Caulfield's channel. If he made this, they would all look identical and nice looking. I cut these out on my little benchtop woodworking bandsaw, which really isn't good for woodworking, but it's great for cutting foam. You see that bottom extends up here to the vent, to this ring, and around this ring there's 2 inches of ceramic fiber blanket going into another kind of ring around the edge that also extends down to the bottom of the lid, and is locked in by this rib. Underneath the 2 inches of ceramic fiber here, it's solid, dense refractory, but I did weld in some wires crisscrossing it to act as a sort of rebar. It's dense castable refractory. It's from the foundry supplier. It's rated for 3,200 degrees. That's in Fahrenheit. Here's my crucible. This is number 12, silicon carbide crucible. Plinth. I had wanted to make it so that it would come to the midway point of the tuyere here, and it just about does. It's pretty close. This is the hot face. It's 1 inch thick, goes all the way down to the floor. The floor is a little bit thicker, the same refractory. It's got a 1.5 inch drain hole. Underneath that layer of refractory there's insulating fire brick, which I thought would be a little better at holding up the floor than more ceramic fiber. It's just the top of this outer section that's covered with more soot covered castable refractory. Underneath this and behind this, it's all it's 2 inches of ceramic fiber blanket all the way around. This is just loose fit in there, and you can see here's the ceramic fiber, and here's the castable. See how this kind of matches the curve of the inside of the bore there. So that lets me just stick it in, and then if I give it a little twist, and it doesn't want to wiggle around. When I push the pedal here, it's on a lever that pushes up on the bottom of this pipe, which forces this to push this up, and then the lid is able to swing freely around. And now I can swing the lid shut. So there you have it, the black dread. Well, I got these foamies made up. I just hot glued them onto some chunks of styrofoam, and got these cardboard tubes. I actually hollowed out the styrofoam that plugs the bottom of the tube there.
I'm gonna spread my shoes everywhere.
Oh my god, I found them. I've been missing these for like 1.5 years. So awesome. Let it warm up for a minute before I try and turn the fan up any higher. Seems to like it this way for now. We're just switching over to oil from propane at this point. Propane is now off. Turning off the fan. And if you guys watch, I'll turn up the oil and you'll see more fire come out the vent. Then I'll turn up the air and it'll go back down. So I'm trying to stay out of the way and you can see. Let's hope number 2 doesn't look like number 2. Oh, I see something. Alright, there we have it. Successful castings, as far as I can tell. And a good start to the new casting season. Clean these up and see if I can actually get them to act as clamps for that pipe. So I've got these and I've forgotten to keep track of which ones were supposed to be paired with which. Well, the moment of truth here. Alright, well, I'm not actually disappointed about that, because it's easier to file it out a little bit than it is to make it tighter than it is. It's a lot closer. A little more file work, I think. Right, got a couple of them ready. Get them. Anyhow, it does fit. It's quite snug. There we go. There's only 2 of them that have now been ground out to fit this pipe, but I think once I clamp these, I hope that they will be really tightly clamped down on this pipe. We'll keep it from moving when it's hanging from the Muller crossbar. Might need to get longer bolts. I can't move it easily, and it's still got room. I believe these will do the job. And those are not going anywhere. Pretty sure those are solid. I can't get them to move. I think this is going to work. And now I've loosened them up. Do they still come off? Do they still move? Oh, they still move. There's no clamping at all going on. Alright, we have our clamps for the first scraper. Excellent.